Greetings, everyone. My name is Isis. I'm the CEO and founder of All Natural Isis. I wanted to come to you with a video today with a question frequently asked about jealousy and polygamy. And I'm sorry about the noise. As soon as I got on this camera, people decided they wanted to start blowing some leaves. But anyway, we're going to get right through it. Jealousy doesn't have to be a thing in a relationship. However, it always normally is in any relationship, whether monogamous or polygamous. The only benefit of it in a polygamous relationship is you know what's up. You know what's going on in your own relationship. You know who he's with or she's with, whatever your preference is. You know what's going on. So there's really more so like an elimination of as much jealousy as what people think. It's not what people think, by the way. It's not just about sex, because a lot of women, they're like, well, how you feel about, your husband having sex and blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, whether you know it or not, sweetie, if you're in a relationship for so long, it's going to happen one way or another. I'm not saying all the time, but statistics show that most men are polygamous by nature. So whether you know it or not, he might have a side piece anyway and might not just be telling you, or, just might have, he's always had a thing for. And sometimes things happen. It's a natural thing. Sex is natural, especially with the other opposite sex if you have a husband. So it's just something that you should just be aware of all the time. And just to clarify, given the right situation and the right person, it's gonna happen. I'm not saying that all men are like that, but it's just the norm. If they were put in a situation as such, it's gonna be very, very challenging for them to say no, because that's just their nature. Just like the lion, you can't fault a lion for going to eat a zebra because that's its nature. You can't fault a pig for being dirty because that's its nature. You can't fault anything in its nature. You can't fault a plant for growing green, because that's literally its nature. So you can't go against its nature. Normally, if they do, then they might have a problem, so I know a lot of women are probably going to get on me for that. They're probably going to argue. They can argue all they want to, but that's just facts. So, and if you want to just cut all the BS in the first place, polygamous relationship might be good for you. However, it's not for everyone. Jealousy doesn't have to be a thing in that type of relationship, because picture this: if you had your best friend with you all the time and you guys are like pretty much a trio anyway, wherever you go she goes, it's almost like you have that anyway. You have that triad relationship. So that's basically how it is all the time. You're just with your best friend all the time, and a lot of times in those polygamous relationships, women are the ones who lead that in that area. And when I say that, I mean they're usually the ones that pick the woman. And even if she does, she has the first wife has to have a say whether or not this woman is going to be the one to join you to. So that comes with a lot of communication on both of your parts. Communicate how you feel. If you feel a little bit jealous or you're not getting the same attention as this other woman, keep in mind that's something that you guys have to talk about. And always just know, when somebody first meets someone, they are in that puppy love stage, so you have to give them that time to break out of that. So I hope that helps. So just to recap, if your husband decides, or let me just say you two as a unit, as a couple, decide you want to go into a polygamous relationship and you're worried about jealousy, always remember communication is key. Communicate with your husband. You guys know how you two flow together, so that shouldn't change. Of course, when you add on another person, it's going to, you have to work some things out, but that's all compromise. And that happens with any relationship, whether monogamous or polygamous. So you guys have to just know there's no difference. The only difference, that if you want to bring that in, is just having another person involved. So, it's communication, and just know when somebody first meets a new person, there's nothing like just new people. You always have to get to know those people and just go deeper. So I would suggest, if you want to get out of that phase, give your husband some time to get to know this woman. Your place is always your place. You're not going anywhere. Just know that. Be more secure in your place and you won't have jealousy. You know, if you know that your place is not to be messed with, that's your throne, you're the queen, there's no moving the queen out of her throne, period. It just doesn't happen like that. So I hope that helps. Get through the puppy dog phase, and then everything will normalize itself. Don't be too insecure, or don't be that's not even a great word. I don't want to offend people, but you have to be very secure in your position. Otherwise, the whole relationship, whether monogamous or polygamous, won't work. You know, so just be strong and just start reading more, start understanding things more for what they are. Let's just all be real with ourselves, especially in 2020. We have to be real with ourselves, not, you know, worried about what other people think, not worried about what's going to happen in the future. You know, just know that if it was for you, it'll be for you. And if it's not, thank God that you didn't wait too late to figure that out. You know, just be grateful for what you have and keep pushing. You know, I feel for everyone, and it's a learning experience. I don't claim to know everything about relationships. I'm just telling you from experience. And, you know, if I'm hoping that some of these words will help someone out there. So love you guys. Thanks for your questions. Continue asking more questions. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any other questions or concerns or anything that I've missed. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right.